Okay, we're back with a continuation of what zero is when it implies to our relative world in problem solving and diagnosing. So now we have our polar ideologies on how we see the world. We have to forget these. We have to start over in how we see things. This goes on through all of the sciences. Gravity and force. They're let's just call it a wave energy of some sort. I don't want to give out a word and confuse things. There's gravity and force. With each internal crushing that gravity creates, as we spoke about, there's an extraction of force. You can't just measure gravity upon itself and build a scale for it as the outward force and expansion of a force on any orbiting system or any human being or any energies. Force is going to impact it. It has to be looked at as itself. What singular reasoning says is that there's a zero positioning in these two objects that connects to truth. Zero position basically is what singular reasoning says. All of reality collapses back on itself. Black holes, all these things, they're cleansing systems for the universe. All of the wave matter, all the particle matter, everything that exists in a relative world is removed and stripped away and sent back to its individual positions of truth through the form of compression and gravity. Force itself creates the gravity creates the reality around us. And this is, oh, it's the Big Bang, all this other stuff. It's not necessarily that way. Force itself does not need to come from one initial position. Force can come from an action, a necessity that occurs here, but it may not occur there. Force can then create, and then all your Higgs particles and all your other stuff grab ruling energy, and Einstein's relativity theories of energy equals matter come into place, and then the matter is born. But this does not mean that it needs to centralize from one location. This is what entanglement theory is telling us. Entangled particles speak along chains. You can understand this when we separate the two functions, but then see it as one whole. Gravity occurring, crushing things back down into zero. Force occurring, giving birth to new objects. But these cannot be seen if you only study one half of it. We need to start looking at things as a whole. Where time showed itself to be a singular energy moving from a position of zero, there's other objects out there that we make a singular energy so that we can break them apart and measure them. Well, we can say, oh, well, look, there's something happened here and something happened here. We then measure this energy between those two positions and we build a formula for what gravity is. But we did not understand that as -1 was occurring, 1 was occurring. 2 was occurring, 3 was occurring, 4 was occurring, and these positions are bound to one another. This was the impaction of force upon the action of gravity. This is what physicists are saying right now when they're talking about time. Time being a polar action. -1 is occurring as 1 is occurring. This is the model that I built in the motion video. As you're moving away at 55 miles an hour, you are retracting from something at the same time. You're driving forward, you're also retracting backwards. Polar perceptions, true. I'm seeing myself go away. But they're bound to the abstract. What you see in reality is also abstract at the same time. It has value and impact. This is what is a huge difference between singular reasoning and polar ideologies. Zero, laying on top of every object around us, giving it purpose, then building the polar situations that we see. Now this can be applied to any object. Love, hate, love and hate, all these other things. What it shows consistently is that there's a position of indifference, a position of zero, that always carries itself through to an original source of reasoning. This will conclude what zero is in the application of the relative world and how it impacts problem solving between polar ideologies and singular reasoning. All this information can be found at www.singularreasoning.com. Thank you for watching.